and unfortunately at the moment he's injured, but I believe it's important that we keep our young centre-backs because they blossom at 24, and so it's important to keep them during that period.
Arsenal, it's bad news about Mustafi. Will Koscielny be able to take his place at Watford?
Koscielny has a definite final test tomorrow. At the moment he's not available, but he trained on his own and the first signs are positive, so we decided to give him a test tomorrow.
You mentioned that Sanchez is coming back. What are your concerns about his mental state after going out of the World Cup that way?
I will have to speak to him, because I'm more concerned about yesterday afternoon I watched the whole game, Brazil against Chile, to see how difficult was the game, and I must say got some special treatment in this game, and it was a very physical game, and mentally I will have to assess the situation when he comes back tomorrow.
Is he ever going to speak to a spinner again?
Yes, I don't think that that will be a problem, but of course it happens sometimes, a coincidence of the competitions.
I mean, looking longer term though, you don't think that without the World Cup it takes away some of his motivation for the coming season in his last few months with Arsenal?
I don't think so. I believe that him like Aaron Ramsey, they are winners. They want to focus on winning things, and overall I believe that the World Cup is as well as stimulant, I don't deny that, but when you don't have it, you focus on your club and what you can achieve with the club.
Mesut Ozil's agent's making encouraging noises about a new contract. He says talks are going well and that Ozil wants to stay in the Premier League 2 or 3 more years. Is that your understanding?
That's my understanding, yes. I always said that the fact that we didn't find an agreement last year doesn't mean that the player will necessarily leave, because both players looked happy here, and overall I hope that the situation can be turned around.
So is the deal any closer at all?
At the moment, no, we are not close enough to announce you anything.
You've been talking too about Jack Wilshere in the international break, and talking about what a key period this is for him. England have qualified for the World Cup, but to get there, does he have to lead Arsenal really in January to get?
I don't think so. I believe that Jack at the moment is in the best form I've seen him for a long time. He's very close now to be considered like anybody else, and overall I believe it doesn't necessarily have to leave Arsenal to go to the World Cup. I think if he keeps going like he's going at the moment, he will go to the World Cup, I'm sure, because I don't see Jack being fully fit and not going to the World Cup.
You're really going to give him the games, though? You'll really give him the games, do you think?
I think he played games already for us, since the start of the season, and he will play many more.
Just one last one from me. There's talk about Mark Overmars coming back to Arsenal in some capacity. Is that true?
No, at the moment he's directed Ajax. We have always been in touch, yes, but at the moment, no.
So him coming back as a director of football here is something which isn't going to happen? You would approve of?
Not at the moment, no.
Regards to Watford this weekend, do you think they're in a better place than they have been for a long time?
Yeah, they are a strong side. I must say they have strong results. They are a balanced team who is dangerous, plays good football, and it is a tough opponent for everybody.
Do you have concerns regarding defensively how you're going to line up for this, especially if Koscielny can't fill in and you've got Chambers on?
Yes, I have. Yeah. And I think about sorting out the problem, but overall I will decide completely tomorrow what I do, because Koscielny will have a test tomorrow. He worked quite hard physically. Looks like if he survives with the test, he is capable to play. He has no pain on his Achilles tendon, he can play. But I will decide that tomorrow.
Regarding Mustafi, do you think the timing in some ways could have been worse because of the fixtures and the way that October's looking? You could perhaps get him back.
Look, it's always difficult to predict the situation, because the player I expected the least to lose during the break was Mustafi. Because first of all, I was not sure he will play, and secondly, Germany was already qualified, so you didn't expect him to be out injured because the games would be less intense. And he didn't play in the first game, and we lost him in the second game against Azerbaijan at home, you know. So, but we have to cope with that now.
You've lost key players. Man United, Liverpool, lots of other clubs have lost key players during this international break. Is it time to look at when qualifiers take place? So maybe if you moved the season and condensed it, qualifiers could take place in one batch in the summer, then you wouldn't lose your players to injury?
Yes. You would still lose players maybe at the start of the season after, but it would make more sense certainly to regroup the competitions and during one period. And I think at the moment the big leagues look a bit stop and start, you know, and it interrupts the flow of a competition, and it's always difficult as well, because when the players go to the national team, they're under huge pressure, because the pride of their country is at stake, and to get them back and immediately refocus on the targets of a club is always difficult.
You said before you thought Jack Wilshere will go to the World Cup. Without wishing
I wish he goes to the World Cup.
Do you think you're going to need him at the World Cup?
Of course.
Do you think we have any player like him at the moment that can make England more exciting and open up defences?
Jack is certainly one of the players who has that more than anybody else. We have plenty of good players, but he's maybe more the number 10 than any other player. Yes, he can open spaces, can play in tight areas, can get out of tight areas as well.
Finally, one quick one for you. Paul Merson's coming back into football. He's going to be playing in the Welsh third.
Well, we speak about professional football here.
Alison, could I ask you about Christmas Eve football, the potential that you could be playing at Liverpool? What's your thoughts on that?
Sorry?
Christmas Eve football, you could be playing Liverpool if Sky moved their game. Would you be happy?
Yeah, I look. I know that we have to adapt to the schedule dictated by the televisions, but overall, I would say if that happens, personally, I think it should not any game should be played after 2 o'clock latest on Christmas Day, on the 24th, because Christmas Day in England is 25, but on the 24, I would say if we have to play, we should not play after 2 o'clock.
Can I ask you about the job Marco Silva's done since he's come to England? What have you made of it?
He has impressed, because I think Watford plays good football. He has done, was it Hull? We had a very good start as well, and overall I think he has done very well.
BBC Africa?
Yes, one of your former players, Kolo Toure, recently took up a job as an assistant coach at Celtic as well as Ivory Coast. He says he wants to do very well in this new role, but were you surprised with his transition into coaching, and what would be your advice to him as he takes up this new career?
Oh, to keep his enthusiasm. First of all, I would like to congratulate one of my former players who became president of Liberia, George Weah, and I would like to use that. You know, it's not often that you have a former player who becomes president of a country. And so well done, Georgie. And I would say just for him to keep his enthusiasm and his desire to learn and to win.
Okay, anything else? Okay, cool. Oh, sorry.
Sorry, Arsenal, just going back to Christmas Eve, there's been a lot of fan opposition to any game on Christmas Eve. Do you, I mean, as a traditionalist, would you not think we leave Christmas Eve alone?
You call me a traditionalist, yes? Why not? If it's a good tradition, I'm always for it. You know, it's a good. Personally, I would prefer to be at my home on Christmas night and celebrate Christmas. But I still feel that could happen if we play early on the day. You know, and what you wouldn't like to sacrifice is the evening with the family for people, but overall we go towards a society where religion isn't considered anymore in any decision, and where people want as well to watch football during the Christmas period.
And just on Sanchez and Ozil and the contract thing again, have you actually set a deadline on those talks?
No,
so,
not at the moment.
So because there's a sort of suggestion that maybe if you get to January and there's no agreement, you might cut your losses, but could you see that happening?
Once you're in our kind of situation, we envisaged every solution, yes.
So it is possible they could.
It's possible.
Okay, guys. Ready?